So for this video lesson, let's try to have the introduction all about in-text citation. Did you know that in-text citation is just one of the basic parts of a broader concept known as referencing? Okay, so let's start from the broadest concept. Since in-text citation is just a specific part of the broader concept known as referencing, then let's try to define what do we mean by referencing. So referencing can be defined as acknowledging of the source or sources of ideas, images, information, and words you used in your research paper. So let's try to write it first. Referencing is the process in which it involves acknowledging the source or sources of ideas. It could be images, information, or words that you use in writing your research paper. So this is the basic definition of referencing. The process of acknowledging the sources or source of information, ideas, images, or words that you used in writing your research paper. Okay? So this is the main highlight of referencing. The keyword is acknowledging. Thus, from this keyword, we can identify the different uses of referencing aside from to avoid plagiarism, since our tendency here is to acknowledge the different sources. So what are the uses of referencing? So first, through the use of referencing, we can distinguish between your idea and to those that ideas of other people. So let's try to write it first. Number one, the first main use of referencing is to distinguish between your words or ideas from those that belong to other people. And these people are the well-known authors that we always use so that we can identify the different information in relation to our research or study. So to reiterate once more, the first main use of referencing, aside from acknowledging these authors, is to distinguish between your words or ideas as the researcher of your paper from those that belong to other people, in which these are the well-known authors. So for instance, you are the writer of your paper. Then through the use of referencing, your idea can be distinguished from the idea of your authors that you used in your research paper. So there is a distinction between your idea and the idea of your authors for your research paper. So this is the first main use of referencing, distinction between the ideas of the researcher from the ideas of the well-known authors from the varied sources of literature. Then for the second one, through the use of referencing, we have the following example. Let's take a look with the following paragraph. Then let's try to distinguish the main use of referencing here. Remember, the reference here, or let's say in the form of in-text citation, we have McConnell and Lawton in the year 2014. Table 1 shows the pH of different samples of fuels, namely guava fuel, X-diesel, and Y-diesel. The pH of the fuels are fairly close to each other. The average pH of biofuel is 8.95, X-diesel is 8.92, and Y-diesel is 8.934. So these values of the pH for biofuel, these serve as the general findings or the results obtained by the researcher. The question here is, what is the main purpose of McConnell and Lawton 2014 under the results and discussion of this study? So let's take a look. McConnell and Lawton 2014 confirmed that one of the good characteristics of a high-quality biofuel should have a pH value from 8 to 9. So what do you think is the main purpose of these well-known authors? Okay, since the obtained general findings include 8.95, 8.92, and 8.94, and these values fall within the range of 8 to 9, it means that the other use of referencing is that it can be used in order to support the general findings of the study. Since we have 8.95, 8.94, and 8.92, and according to McConnell and Lawton of 2014, these values have the good characteristics of a high-quality biofuel. So it means that McConnell and Lawton 2014 supported the results of this study. Thus, for the second example, the main use of referencing is that it is used to support. So our keyword here is to support the findings of the study. And once these authors support the results of your study, then we can say that it is with higher validity and with higher reliability. So therefore, through the use of citations, researchers can enhance the validity and reliability of their findings because these well-known authors support the generalization of your study. So that is the second function of referencing. The third one is that through referencing, with the help of well-known authors, we can investigate those ideas or topics that are interesting and useful. So that is the third one. Readers can identify topics that are useful and at the same time something that will capture their own interests. Remember that one of the basic criteria for us to have a good research title is that you should be interested to your topic. And one way for you to identify the area of interest in your research is through the use of referencing by identifying these well-known authors in connection to those topics that you want to select. So that is the third one. And of course, finally, we have the fourth one. Obviously, through the use of referencing, we can avoid plagiarism, one of the examples of an academic misconduct or scientific fraud. So these are the four major functions or uses of referencing that we need to incorporate and integrate in our research paper. Okay? So for the next part of our discussion, did you know that there are two main parts of referencing? So the two main parts of referencing are as follows. The first one is known as in-text citation. Okay. And then the second part of referencing is known as the reference list. So at this point, our main concern is to how to write the in-text citation through the use of APA 7th edition, okay, as the style of writing. And then for our next lesson, after in-text citation, we will discuss the second part known as the reference list. Okay, so let's try to figure out the difference between reference list and in-text citation. And it goes like this. Notice that in our current slide presentation, we have an example of in-text citation. So the name of the authors, including the year of publication and the page number, So this serve as our main example for in-text citation. So these are the in-text citations that we have. When do we say that your referencing falls under in-text citation? Obviously, in-text citation, if the name of the authors, they are located within a given text. So if you combine these well-known authors in a certain text, just like this, if you combine it in a paragraph, for example, then it is classified as in-text citation. In-text means you try to combine it in a given paragraph or in a given statement. So this is known as in-text citation. So if the references are located within the body of a text, then it is known as in-text citation. If the references were combined along with the body of the text, then it is known as in-text citation. No, so notice that Stein 2018 and Tang and Pierce 2014 are examples of in-text citation because, as you notice in our example, we combine these authors in a certain text. For example, in a given paragraph. So that is in-text citation. So let's proceed to the next one. What if the name of the authors are located at the end of the paper instead of they are located within the body of the text? It is called as blank. So this is known as bibliography. Okay? Bibliography is also known as the reference list, which is the second part of referencing. So note that bibliography and reference list, they are exactly the same. And what's the difference of bibliography or reference list to in-text citation? Always keep in mind that reference list or bibliography, it is placed at the end of your research paper. Unlike in-text citation, they are combined within the body of the text, just like this. It is combined in a given paragraph. So these are the two main parts of our referencing. First, in-text citation, then the second one, reference list, also known as bibliography.